Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Our webs have been tangled, and I know who to blame. Daniels!
Things are heating up with the Tholians. Monitor stations are detecting large fleet movements toward Federation space, and they're refusing all of our diplomatic hails. We're doing all we can to prevent a war, but it's not looking good. I want you to join a task force I'm assembling. If this goes south, I want my best people on the front line when it does.
The Federation shouldn't be having significant issues with the Tholians at this point in time. I've been scanning the timeline and I think I've found the problem. 2 years ago, a Tholian colonial fleet was destroyed. The Tholians blamed the Federation, and increasing hostilities have ultimately led us here. This is something I'll need your help to correct.
Of course, because you can't do anything yourself. Competent twit.
I've pinpointed the incident in question, setting Temporal transponder back 2 years. We need to correct the timeline during the Defiant. We've arrived in 2268, and not a moment too soon. The Nakul are clearly out for blood. Tholians are quite xenophobic. They may feel the Federation is part of the problem here. We're being hailed by the Defiant. I'll remind you that our orders forbid us from telling them anything specific about the situation. I recommend deflecting their questions until the situation here is resolved.
This is a chance for us to save the USS Defiant.
Good to see you. We're in a real tight spot here. The Tholians were taking a serious beating when we reached the system, and the other ships opened fire on us the minute we dropped out of warp. Mind lending us a hand until we figure out what's going on?
This was a Tholian colony fleet.
Don't pretend you care.
See if you can take a little pressure off. We need to firm up our shields.
Don't pretend you care, Daniels. The only thing
Alert, warp, core breach imminent. Attempt.
The only thing you care about
The aliens have disabled the Tholian flagship. She's in trouble.
is under attack.
Sir, if the Nakul kill the Queen, an entire Tholian bloodline will be wiped out.
You know,
Ship integrity compromised.
Enemy boarding parties are feeding to the Tholian flagship.
Destroy the aliens. Defensively.
Estimated Tholian casualties are in the thousands.
Vengeance. Vengeance for the children.
Don't suppose you have any idea what's going on here? There's nothing on these aliens in our computers or why they'd attack the Tholians, or us for that matter.
I have a pretty good idea. Unfortunately, I can't tell you thanks to asshole number 1 over there.
All right, do what you need to do. We'll talk about all of this when the shooting stops. Deal?
Stay safe, Captain.
I know it doesn't feel great keeping information from the Defiant's crew, but believe me, it's for the best. I'll monitor the situation here while you assist the Tholians. Do what you can to save them. Good luck.
Of course I'm gonna have to. Alright. Because Tholians are too hot to
I've
have.
found appropriate transport coordinates on the Tholian flagship. Hopefully you can convince them that we're not at fault here. If the Tholians go to war with the Federation now, it would be devastating on a galactic scale.
Since everyone is wearing EV suits, I'll be resolving that relatively quickly. You know, giving them proper armor and all that. EV suits are really good.
Reading only a few Tholian life signs.
numerous Nakul life signs, and more are on the way. Nakul reinforcements are on their way to your position. Stay alert.
Well, I don't like the Tholians very much, but this is a bit harsh.
The power levels on the flagship just spiked. Something's wrong, and I doubt the Tholians are to blame.
It's not like you care. You everyone respect.
I'm reading more incoming Nakul transporter signatures.
Alright, let's fix this boat. Shouldn't take too long. If anything, yes, I'm aware. Gotta save the ship. Working on it.
Energy readings on the flagship are returning to normal. Whatever you did worked.
Of course it did.
The last remaining Tholians are close to your position, and more Nakul are on their way. I'd hurry if I were you.
Alright, let's hope these guys
Stop the ship from detonating, but the Nakul. They've killed Tholian colonists and even hatchlings ruthlessly. What they've done here is an atrocity.
Not like you care, Dales. You've done so much worse. Now I have to defuse this situation before everything goes to hell.
Humanoid command unit, why did you kill your kind? This is irrational. Explain.
Tholians, they don't get a goddamn thing, do they?
Federation, Nakul, all humanoids are the same. Chaotic, irrational, peaceful, then not. Warring, then you leave. Those you call Nakul killed our people. Our children, all are dead. Our sisters must know. Leave now, Federation. Leave us to our final task.
Unfortunately, this is going to have grave and very bad consequences down the line. Shame they didn't wait 6 centuries.
You cannot help us. Too late. The hatchlings slaughtered, the colonists lost. Nothing can help in the face of this terror. We must send our message. Others will come. Leave now.
We've got enemy ships on an intercept course, including a dreadnought. We won't last long against a force like that.
Continue to fight, Nakul. Keep them from us while we contact our sisters. If you speak truly, you will not betray us.
Last thing I want to do is screw with the Tholian. That being said, I would like my enemies to be at my level. But Cryptic likes to dissuade people from replaying these missions, apparently. After all, easy prey and all that.
I've been monitoring the Tholian Queen's progress. She hasn't been able to send the signal to her people. Orders?
Go to hell, Daniels. I'll handle the rest.
Okay, let's have a little chat. What's the situation here? Where did those alien ships come from? I'd like some straight answers for a change.
They're called the Nakul. They came from the 29th century. They hate Daniels. That's mainly why they're here.
And I don't need to know, right? I read you, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. That big alien ship is still heading our way. Let's focus on that. Here they come. We just lost our engines. It'll take a while for my chief engineer to work up to the mirrors. That dreadnought is coming in fast. More ships inbound to our location. My engineers are gonna need time. A lot more than the alien dreadnought is concentrating fire on the Tholian flagship.
Federation, you have proven you are different, rational. This pleases us. We have sent word to our sisters. The Nakul will pay. The Federation will not. Now, vengeance for the slaughter of a generation. Vengeance for our children.
The Queen's message has been sent through subspace and... Yes! The timeline is correcting itself. Good work. Now, we just need to help with... Oh no. The Queen is going to full impulse. She's gonna ram the Nakul dreadnought!
Prepare for ramming speed! Ramming speed, Orator!
Our engines are still down! We can't escape!
Hoi! Defiant! Oh, hell no! Daniels! Alright, let's get these people out of here and...
No. I'm afraid that this is their fate. This is one of the hardest things about being a temporal agent. We can only make the changes we have to make, not the ones we want to make.
Go to hell. If I want to make a better future for these people, I will.
I'm afraid there's not. History states that the Defiant went missing, only to be found here weeks later by the Enterprise. Though they're lost, we now know that they played an important role in keeping the Federation safe, in protecting the timeline. For what it's worth, I will be sure their heroism is included in my report.
That's not worth anything, Daniels.
The Tholians will remember this as well. This encounter may lead them to be more inward-focused, avoiding conflicts with the Federation. For the time being. At the very least, they will know that it wasn't the Federation that was responsible for the destruction of their colony convoy.
That is not comforting, and it is not equal. I should have been able to save that crew. Unfortunately, Daniels is a... asshole.
Captain Archer had similar concerns when I worked with him. We often disagreed, but in the end, we were able to work past our differences and do the right thing. I hope you and I can do the same. Leaving Defiant to her fate was a hard choice, but it saved untold billions of lives. That has to count for something.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.